we are TMEST of 2018. All this stuff is done by the whole team together, and we'll be presenting it to you guys today. So brief rundown of how this whole thing gonna go. First and foremost, we are gonna clarify what is team standards in the event that some people don't really know what it is. And then we're gonna go into the important part of it right for this moment, which is the building phase, which is the start of team standards, and kind of clarifying of what it really means, what building phase really is, and what do we do to fulfill building phase, so to say. And by the end of it, there will be a session for question. So that's generally the flow of it. All right, next, Michelle. Okay, cool. So to kind of start this conversation, something I think you guys kind of know, something that we and Isaac keep talking about is a high-performing team. We keep stressing that, oh, we need to create a high-performing team. We need a high-performing team, da, 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 da. But what is a high-performing team? Next. So I kind of have a couple of questions for you guys to kind of think about. Number one, why do we need a high-performing team? Feel free to type your answers in the chat so we can I'll do a quick 3 minutes for everybody to kind of share their ideas about this. So yeah, first and foremost, why do you guys think we need a high-performing team? Or anybody who wants to speak, it's cool. Chief. So Stefan said to achieve. Anybody else? To reach. Eileen says to reach goals. Stanley says he wants to get results. Amra said to cooperate effectively. To be more efficient. Okay, let's move on since it stopped. All right, next. So basically, as you guys say, it's more or less the same context. It's in order for the LC to achieve. Next. So the next question becomes, what would a high-performing team look like? Same thing again. Feel free to key your answers in chat. Oh shit, a typo. Remember achieving goals. Anything else? One that has achieved all of the team and individual goals. That's really detailed. Nice. A star team instead of a team of stars. Nice. Nice. Good communication among the team members. Starting with stars. A team that's able to achieve and get work done in various circumstances. Okay, Michelle next. So members that take initiatives from Panda. So as you guys see, there's a lot of different opinions about what a high-performing team would look like. But generally, as we can sum it down, it's more or less a cohesive team who have clear objectives and communication channels. I kind of forgot to add achievement, but yeah, that's basically it. Next. And then the final question becomes, what do we need to do to create such a team? Because yeah, it makes sense that we want such a team, right? We want to achieve, we want the LCs to achieve, we want to not just achieve, but also have a good team experience as per what we want to see in a high-performing team. So the question finally becomes, what do we need to do to create a high-performing team next? And TM's answer to that question is the team standards. Yay! Next. So this is the team standards in case whomever have not seen it yet. So team standards, really quickly, team standards consists of 3 major stages. So building, performing, and closing. And it operates by a cycle. So when a team starts, it goes through building phase. And as the team operates, it goes into performing. And as the whole experience ends, closing phase to close out the experience, so ensure that everybody had a good close after the whole term. And when the next team comes in, it starts off at the building phase again. So it operates in a cycle. Next. And so essentially team standards is a guideline or a list of objectives in a sense that team leaders can use as a framework to how to create a proper team. Because I kind of think back on the first time you became team leader, or if you've ever became team leader, if you're going from member to VP, I think the experience will be more harrowing, where you're not really sure how to actually manage a team, how to actually what it means to do a proper team meeting, what it means to coach your team members and stuff like that. And team standards is a framework by TM to try to address that knowledge gap that people may have when it's first manage a team. So team standards is actually pretty straightforward. 3 major objectives, as you guys can see. So number 1, as I said, it provides new team leaders a guideline on how to effectively build and manage the team. Number 2, the outcome of team standards, it is aimed to produce high-performing teams to assist LCs in achieving their goals. And last and finally, it's not about results, but also about good membership experience. Hence, team standards also tries to ensure members have a fulfilling experience with us. So this is the objective of team standards. Next. And this is really general overview. For more details, check out the team standards tracker that we have in our tools, like one of our in the team workspace. It is in there, and something to kind of keep in two major parts to kind of keep in to look out for. So first one is the explanation part, where it really breaks down each objective into in the context of what a member should have experienced or have done or have felt after they have done something like that. So for example, as you guys can see, one of the explanation is we set strategies to reach the goal. So it's really clear cut of what the members need to do to consider that particular part of team standards is fulfilled. And a good thing about this is also the timeline is there. So in case there's any confusion about, you're not sure when you need to do this, it seems like a lot of things to do. It's outlined pretty clearly that, these things you need to do at the first team meeting, the others maybe at the second or third team meeting. So it provides a really good framework in terms of not just what needs to be done, but also when things need to be done. So this is the team standards tracker. When you guys get the tools, feel free to look through it, play around with it, and kind of try to know it inside out, at least the building phase. So yeah, that's my part for now. Michelle?
All right. Hey guys, I'll be going through the building phase. So if you actually check the team standards checklist for building phase, you can see that there's a lot of checks for building. And basically right now I'll be downscaling building phase so that you can explain in a way to your members that I guess provides more clarity so you can implement even better. So right now I want to ask you guys one question. When you first joined ISEC, what were the questions that were going through your mind? So please feel free to write it in the chat. Yep, so Stanley says, what do I do? Stefan says, what do I get for doing this? Yep. Any more? What is my role here? Yep. How do I become LCP? What? Yep. Any more? Kevin, that's not a question. All right, so let's move on. So basically through your answers, these are 3 questions that are mainly the questions that members ask themselves when they first join ISEC. So firstly, why am I here? Where do I belong? And what are we doing? So linking this to the building phase, the first question of why am I here? This is essentially answered by the building phase of individual plan, which is answered by the checks of initial LDA, personal development plan, competence development plan, personal functional goal, and individual action plan. Next, where do I belong is answered by team creation, transition, functional skills, and core competence and team rules. And the last question of what are we doing? 2, team plan, team purpose, goals, strategies, duties and timeline, budget, team development goals. So as you can see, building phase is very important when we introduce members to ISEC, because this is their first impression of ISEC and their first journey within ISEC. All right, so essentially building phase is where people start to work together and understand who is in the team, what the team is about, and what it's set to achieve together, and what their individual contributions. So those are basically the 3 questions that are answered by building phase. So why should I care? What's in it for me? So when members first join ISEC, we have essentially 10 days, 10 maximum days, where we're able to make a good impression on them, whether or not they want to, basically they ask themselves whether or not they want to stay in ISEC, and whether or not ISEC is the right place for them. So this is essentially governed by our first induction, our first LCM, first team meeting, and first conference. Let's go back to induction. So most of the LCs have already gone through the inductions, where although they're not essentially part of the building phase, they still answer these 3 questions of why am I here, where do I belong, and what are we doing. Organizational induction answers the welcome, intro, get to know, and our mission, whereas functional induction answers basic intro of function, get to know, and training. So what do I do now? So for most LCs, induction has already been passed, and as well as that, the LCM has also been passed. Right now we need to focus on team meeting, which is part of building phase. And essentially in your first team meeting, team leaders will need to be able to, essentially first do its first team meeting where they're able to, basically do the building phase. And these are the tools that the EST team has created for you guys. So this is a team workspace. Later on, you can use this link or ask your team VP for the link. Next is a personal development plan where you need to set for each individual member within those 10 days. As you can see, building phase does go for a maximum of 10 days where it covers goal setting and individual plan. And with that, you could see that one-to-ones are soon right after that. One-to-ones goes through the initial ODA personal development plan. So basically what one-to-ones do is it's basically a check-in with members on the PDP, checking where their performance are and providing consistent coaching and feedback where they can consistently be better and achieve more. And once they're able to do that, they will be able to, implement the team development goals. You'll be able to foster a team culture of active learning and feedback. So if you need more info, you should ask your VPTMs, where we have guides for personal development plans, performing one-to-ones and team meetings. All right. So right now in this meeting, we have VPTMs, LCPs, and TLs. You'll be wondering, why do we even have all 3 of you guys in this webinar? So each of you have a distinct role. VPTMs, their role is to educate and coordinate TLs and VPs, where they're responsible for TLs and VPs. LCP, their role is basically to help push and facilitate team standards implementation within the LC. TLs, they are the ones that implement the team standards to foster member development for achievement, and they're responsible for their own members. All right, sure.
All right, so kind of a quick recap of what the whole lunch of information we just gave you guys was. So essentially, to kind of take away from this, 2 major things to know. It's number 1, why is team standard necessary? It's because it is a way or a framework for us to build a high-performing team in order for the LC to achieve. So that is team standards in a nutshell. And the building phase within team standards, it is the beginning of the team standards. It is a way for us to build, it's a foundation for the team to be able to bond strongly at the start, and not just bond strongly, but also know what they're doing, know why they're here for, and what is their role within all of this, within ISAC, within their team, or even within their whole life. So, and how does ISAC contribute that back to their development and stuff like that. So this is why team building is important. And in terms of what do we do, as I said, we implement team standards, we implement building phase. And how do we do it? EST has created, basically kind of break it down. There are 2 major tools for you guys to use for this phase. So there is the individual workspace, or the PDP workspace we call it, that is mainly for people to kind of map out their personal development plan, which is a framework which aims to connect the individual development goals of the member with the organizational goals of the LC, because that was an issue last year where we're like, yeah, fair enough, we need to kind of connect what member wants to develop with what they need to do, but we don't really know how to do it. And finally, I think we got a hang of it. I hope we got a hang of it. So yeah, do let us know if that doesn't work out. So that's the PDP workspace. And there's the team workspace, which mainly is for it's basically whatever you want to do with the team is in there. So your meeting minutes, your team profile, your member profile, your JDs, your goal trackers and stuff like that. Everything is within one space so that it's all in the same place. And what that's for is help you to fulfill the rest of the building phase, because I'm not sure if you guys saw the screenshot that we put, but there is place for you guys to write down your team purpose, your non-negotiable, the values that your team decides to abide by, So the tools are meant to help you guys implement building phase smoothly, and do reach out to your VPTMs to ask more about detail about how are you guys gonna actually do this within your LC, because these webinars just mainly to kind of instill that kind of idea that team standard exists, building phase exists, and this is how we do it. But it's really up to the discussion between you and your VPTM in terms of how do you actually do it within your LC. So that's that. And also there's a lot of guides in terms of not just how to use the tool, but also how to do some things that's not necessarily covered by the tool. For example, how to do team meetings, how to give effective feedback, how to do proper one-to-ones, how to prep for one-to-ones and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things that we prepared. It's a lot of information, I wouldn't lie, but do take some time to go through it before and try to implement it when you're leading your team so that it's more effective. And yeah, so yes, there you go. All right, that is all from me. So any more questions? Feel free to write it down. Feel free to shout it up to us. We will answer it as best as we can. Is it all clear that everybody understands what's going to happen, or is it so dense that everybody's kind of lost on what they want to ask? I'm kind of scared now. How do you track team standards? So it's mainly done by the team standards tracker. Sylvan, I'll go with you during NPM. But in a nutshell, team standards tracker, it's up to the members to kind of fill in on which standards have they filled and what not. So, Michelle, can you roll back to the team standards tracker slide?
Yeah, sure. Hold on. There we go. Here.
Oh, yep, there you go. So as you can see to the right side, there is like column member name and stuff like that. So that's where you put your member's name in. And based on the explanation, the members are to evaluate if they have done these particular things. Have they, for example, set clear goals for the project? Have they set strategies to reach their goal? Have they set deadlines for their tasks and stuff like that, as you can see from the explanation? And when they have set it, they can tick a yes, and then everything, the percentage is all auto-calculated from there. With the VP, yes, the VP will be the ones to do the TL's individual plan. So in terms of MC's plan, I think LCPs has heard it a lot. So because one of the weeks, as Ivan emphasized it a lot, is 70 of the members achieving, 70 members achieving 100% of their goals. I hope I didn't get that wrong. So the idea was the LCP needs to learn how to do this first, and then push it, and then do it for the VPs. VP learn how to do it from how the LCP did it to them, also from reading the resources and stuff, and do it to their TLs, and the TLs to their members. So that's how the whole cascade goes. How do you determine Savan, the The fulfillment per element, so based on how much members over how much yeses, if that makes sense. If you have 4 members, that's for that particular item, you have 4 members, there's only 1 yes, so that's like 25%. Does that make sense? That's kind of how the calculation goes. Yes, cool. SOPs released for these elements, they already have actually. Go reach out to VPTMs for them. Essentially, in a nutshell, team building phase can be split between like building for the team and building for the individual. That makes sense. So there's one SOP for how to do building for the team, and there's one SOP how to set proper goals for the member and stuff like that. So it's covered. It's nice. Do the VPTNs set deadline or is it national? It's up to the VPTN's discretion to set deadline because it needs to be tailored towards your LC's reality. It even needs to be tailored towards your team's reality if that team kind of forms a little late. Yeah. Any more questions? If all is good, just wave in chat. Yes, you're gonna hearing a lot from us on the other phases. Yes, we're gonna do more stuff from there. Wait, is Ivan here? What the fuck? I think we can close off the webinar, I guess. I think everybody's pretty G. Yeah, so final leaving remarks. Please do reach out to your VPTMs for the resources. Wait. Yeah, Stefan, that's basically it. Like, there's nothing more, honestly. What more do you want? But leaving remarks, reach out to your VPTMs for the resources in terms of the guides and also the tools, how it's gonna look like, and mess around with it, learn how to actually use it properly, communicate, talk with your VPCMs in terms of how to implement it, and see how it goes from there. Cool.
Yay!
Oh my god, Ivan's voice.
Sorry, I just got back. Nice, amazing.
Anything to add, Ivan?
I mean, first of all, I think everyone should have a really, really big thank you to Chua and Michelle for hosting this webinar and everything that's out there at the moment. I think it's really cool to see where ISEC in Australia is heading to make sure that we are fulfilling like the minimums that we really want to do for ISEC in Australia and for every team member to be going through the sort of experiences that we want them to have in ISEC, not only so that they can develop for themselves, but we're also developing the organization at the same time by contributing to leadership through exchange. So making sure that as team leaders, everyone fulfills their role for their members, understanding that it first takes the building phase, obviously, in team standards to make sure that you get your team up and running within the first 10 days. So thank you for everyone that came. Amazing job to Chua and Mish. I'll let you guys end it.
There's no way to end. It's ended.
Nice. Alrighty.
Okay, everybody can go now.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thanks for your 40 minutes.
Amazing. Output will be released soon.
Oh, Ivan, commission chat.